The reflection in the window wasn't mine. It blinked a fraction of a second too late. It's a sensation that grips the imagination and has haunted humanity for millennia. That moment you pass a stranger, and a cold, sickening jolt runs through you, a certainty that they are you, or a version of you, walking down the sidewalk. This is the phenomenon of the doppelgänger. It is the uncanny double, the spectral echo of self, and the stories surrounding it are some of the most unsettling in human folklore. From the darkest corners of mythology to modern police reports, the doppelgänger suggests that the self is not singular, but something duplicated, something misplaced. Across countless cultures, the concept recurs. In Greek mythology, the idea of a twin, or a perfect counterpart, often carried warnings of fate or inherent danger. Ancient texts speak of figures who walked among the living, indistinguishable from the genuine article, yet fundamentally wrong. The term itself, doppelgänger, originates from German folklore, literally meaning double ghost. It speaks to a deep, primal fear, the fear that your identity is permeable, that the boundaries of who you are can be breached or copied. It suggests that beneath the veneer of individuality, there might be a blueprint, a template, waiting to be replicated. These encounters are rarely simple coincidences. Witnesses often describe a disturbing level of detail in the resemblance. It's not just similar height or build, it's the specific way a person holds their shoulders, the unique pattern of a scar, the precise tilt of the head when they listen. It's a match that goes beyond mere resemblance. It feels like an exact photocopy, printed onto a stranger. We have documented accounts, both anecdotal and reported, that defy simple explanation. Consider the case of the traveler who claimed to see his own face in the crowd, but with an unsettling blankness in the eyes, as if the person was wearing a mask of his own life. Or the reports of individuals who encountered someone who possessed the exact same, highly unusual birthmark, or even the same specific, obscure childhood scar marks that should, by all logic, be unique to the individual. These sightings are often accompanied by a palpable sense of dread. The dread isn't just the shock of recognition, it's the dread of otherness. If someone else looks exactly like you, who then is the real you? Does the duplicate possess your memories, your potential, or something far worse, a borrowed essence? The unsettling nature of these encounters forces the observer into a state of profound psychological questioning. When we turn to psychological theories, the doppelganger takes on a different, more internal menace. Many modern psychoanalysts interpret the sighting not as an external haunting, but as a projection. The doppelganger becomes a manifestation of the self we repress. It is the shadow self, Jungian in theory, the parts of our personality, our unresolved trauma, or our darkest desires that we cannot acknowledge in ourselves. The stranger becomes a mirror reflecting our internal fragmentation. In this view, the uncanny replica isn't a supernatural entity, it's a psychic alarm bell. It screams that there is a part of you, a capacity for cruelty, a hidden ambition, a deep-seated fear that you have successfully walled off from your conscious awareness. The encounter forces a confrontation with that buried aspect of the psyche. However, the line between psychological explanation and genuine paranormal encounter remains dangerously blurred. For those who experience these sightings, the emotional weight is undeniable. The sheer terror of seeing your own face in another person's flesh, especially when that person acts with a strange, detached familiarity, suggests something that resists simple categorization. Some theories veer into the realm of alternate realities or temporal bleed. Could it be that parallel dimensions occasionally brush against one another, causing moments where echoes of selves from adjacent timelines bleed into our own? These concepts push the boundaries of known physics, suggesting that identity itself might be a fragile construct, easily disrupted by cosmic interference. What ties these threads together? The myth, the psychology, the unexplained sighting is the fundamental human need to define the self. We build our identities brick by careful brick, moment by moment. When that definition is challenged by an external, flawless copy, our sense of reality trembles. We are confronted with the possibility that we are merely a pattern, and patterns can be copied. These stories serve as potent cautionary tales. They warn us to be hyper-aware of our own internal landscapes, and equally, to be wary of the faces we encounter in the deepest shadows of the night. The doppelgänger effect is less about proving an entity exists, and more about understanding the fragility of the self we believe we inhabit. So, the next time you catch a glimpse of someone across a crowded street, someone who seems too familiar, too precise in their features, don't dismiss that flicker of unease. Don't rationalize it away with simple chance. Listen to that primal alarm bell. Because sometimes, the most terrifying thing isn't what you can prove you saw, but what you feel you might have glimpsed, a reflection that blinked a fraction too late, hinting at a self you might not want to meet. Keep your eyes open tonight. Be vigilant for the doubles, because in the dark hours, the line between you and your echo might be dangerously thin.